I wanted to share some of the flowers that are in the same plant family that resemble a plant that is very poisonous and like fatally poisonous, can kill you from touching it, from breathing it. So you definitely don't want to be out in the wild and picking these. That's poison hemlock and water hemlock. Water hemlock is found by the water, and then poison hemlock is found all over the place. It's very common. It looks like this. The stems on a poison hemlock are typically got some purple speckles or stripes on it, but I don't know when they're young if that's the case, so you just want to be really careful with those. And I'll show you how similar it is to a parsley bloom. So again, there's the poison hemlock, and then here is the parsley. So here's a parsley that hasn't turned into the white flowers yet, but you can see it's like that firework bloom. And then here's another one. These were going to seed in the greenhouse, and so you can see how they kind of have like a bunch of stems that explode from the main stem and create like that firework effect. But this is, and it's all in the parsley family, the Apiaceae, I think is how you say it, plant family. So parsley, wild carrot, they all go together. So you got your celeries, valerian, Queen Anne's lace, the parsley, poison hemlock, parsnips, I think. I don't know, there's quite a few plants. There's like, I think 3,700 species, one of the books said. And so I have this one, Foraging the Ozarks, is a great book for where I am, but they have similar ones wherever you are. But this one has been really helpful for me. You can tell because I have it flagged all over the place. And then the Peterson's Field Guide, that one's helpful. Like I said, it's separated by color of the blooms, so that can be really useful. And the other one that I really like a lot is the Medicinal Herb book by Rosemary Gladstar. And you can see Valerian, and then she breaks it down, ways to use it. So Valerian, since I'm on that page, I will share, is really pretty and very similar to Yarrow. So I did a video on Yarrow recently, or semi-recently. And here's a Yarrow. It's starting to look a little wilty, but it's got all these clusters of flowers. So sometimes people will confuse this with poison hemlock, but the leaves on poison hemlock are very different and the flowers are different. So this doesn't spread out into that explosive kind of look. They're very clustered and flat. And they have these little tan marks in the center, which might be hard to see. Valerian can look really similar, but Valerian has these little flowers with the stamens that pop up, which is hard to see on the camera. And their clusters, they're more like, they look kind of dotted, but definitely different, and the leaves are completely different. Here's a leaf on a Valerian. So you can see that leaf is very distinctively different than these fern-like leaves. A Yarrow is called Achilles millefolium, which I think means for millions of leaves. And then Achilles, because Achilles was known to take his troops with Yarrow because it stops wounds. It's a styptic, so it will stop bleeding like that. Did a video on it. It truly works. I've used it for a couple years now, and it's great as a tea. Has a lot of benefits that I won't get into right now. So you got the parsley, you got the Valerian, you got the Yarrow. So those are all going to look very similar, and you got to look at the leaves. The leaves on the Queen Anne's lace, it's a wild carrot, so, and it's all edible. The Valerian's all edible, mostly salads, but the medicinal part, like the flowers and the leaves, you could put on a salad. But the medicinal part of Valerian is the root. So you take the root and you use that in the teas, and it'll help with sleep, anxiety. It will calm the system, the nervous system. So it's more of a nervous system plant. And you've probably seen Valerian tea in the store. If you're drinking tea bags, make sure that they're not bleached. It needs to say unbleached on them. Otherwise, you're drinking tea bags that are bleached, and you don't want to drink bleach probably. So just a side note. But the Valerian, for some people, it'll be an agitator. So it won't necessarily help you sleep. it'll make you feel agitated. And that's the effect that it's had on me if it's too potent. And so this is the first time I'm going to be trying to create valerian from my own medicines from my own plant versus something that someone else has made for me. So we'll see if it has a different effect or not. But it gave me crazy dreams when I took it before. I didn't like that. I woke up feeling like, whoa, I traveled somewhere really dark and I didn't know. Yeah, it was just crazy dreams. But the Queen Anne's lace I want to show you, it's a really trippy flower. It's all edible. It's a wild carrot, but the leaves on it are different than a carrot. They're darker. They're more separated in between, where a carrot is closer and like fern. Like, I mean, I could find like a baby leaf on a Queen Anne's lace, and it could look a little more like graceful and ferny, but it's still, you can see there's more gaps than like a carrot, which I have here. It's wilting though, because it's kind of warm out right now, but softer. You can see here at the top, they're closer together, but they're both edible, so it's not going to hurt you. It's just not going to, the carrot of a Queen Anne's lace, it doesn't taste great, in my opinion, but it's very medicinal plant. People will fry the tops, so I'll show you a top of one of them. Sorry, I just sacrificed you. Maybe I haven't cooked these, but people will fry these tops and eat them. The seeds themselves are medicinal. Once you let it go to seed, you can see the dot in the center. That's a giveaway that it's a Queen Anne's lace. On the babies, the dot is red. Do I have one of those? No, I don't. Thought I had pulled one of those. But the dot is red and the flowers might be a little bit more pink. These are pretty trippy, and it's also known as a contraceptive. They'll say that you can take it as like a morning after pill. I don't recommend doing that. And if you're trying to get pregnant or you think you're pregnant or anything like that, I would stay away from. I would always look up the medicinal herb you're gonna use just to make sure. Usually it's safe, but you never know. Yarrow is another one that I wouldn't use if I thought I might be pregnant, because it'll stimulate bleeding or it can stop bleeding. So it's amaphoric, I think is the name, when it knows exactly where to go in the body. It knows what direction to go in the body, like what your body needs. That's why Yarrow is magical. So Queen Anne's lace, the whole thing is edible. The roots, it has a lot of benefits. It's a diuretic, so it'll cleanse the system. There was something in here I didn't want. Oh, worm expelling. I always forget that one with Queen Anne's lace, that it's known to expel worms. So if you think you have worms, this is the plant for you. But it grows just prolifically here, and it's, like I said, it's wild. It's just doing its thing. So just wanted to warn you about that poison hemlock, and make sure that if you're foraging, you're being super safe about it. All right, that's it. Thanks for hanging out.